Hey y'all. So I've got two things I want to talk about in this video. I'm going to tell y'all about my youngest daughter when she had to go to the emergency room last weekend. Um, it was very scary, and I'm gonna let y'all know what happened with that. But before I get to that point, um, I want to thank each and every one of y'all who watch my videos. Thank each and every one of y'all who subscribe. Y'all, I hit 1,000 subscribers today and counting. It's still going up. Every time I check it, there's more. The amount of support that I have gotten from y'all is absolutely amazing. Um, yeah, there's a couple of negative comments sometimes, and what before I started it, the reason it took me so long because he got arrested in July, and I didn't actually get my first video up till like August something. I think mid August or late August. Um, to be honest, I was so nervous because I knew that there were going to be some negative comments. There were going to be some hurtful comments. There were going to be people attacking. Thing. I mean, you're when you make yourself public, there's going to be all kinds of criticism, but it's not near as much as I thought there was going to be. And for every one negative comment, I've got 100 positive ones. And sometimes the negative comments make me just want to what, fine. If I'm going to get attacked for telling our story, and people have no compassion, and they're just going to sit here and criticize me and my family, or just say horrible, mean, insulting comments. Like, some of the comments have been so bad, I've only seen them in my notifications, but by the time I go look at it to reply, it's gone. So I don't know if YouTube just removed it or if somebody reported it. A lot of y'all have been like answering those negative comments before I even get there, and like defending my family, and man, that makes me want to keep going. If I'm having a bad day, there's always some kind of positive comment in there that really helps and just makes me okay. It's worth it. There are some people. I'm so sorry. I forgot to go on airplane mode, and I had a notification. Anyway, but there's always encouraging comments and stuff, and y'all are just amazing and supportive and encouraging, and y'all make me want to keep going. The 99 or the 100 comments for every one negative one, those 100 comments make me want to keep going and make me want to keep sharing our story, because every once in a while when I get the bad one, it makes me just want to turn everything off and just hide and not share anything with anybody. But the positive and encouraging comments, I know that there's so many more people out there who support us and who have compassion for us and who want to hear our story, want to hear, and see what's going on. So anyway, 1,000 subscribers. Y'all are amazing. Thank you so much. So Juju, going to more notifications. I'm so sorry. I should have just did airplane mode before, and I've totally forgot, but it's too late now. Okay, so on Halloween, we came back from Mexico on October 29th that evening. I went to work the next day, and then that next day was Saturday, the 31st, Halloween, which is also Bird's birthday. So it was already kind of, we just left him and still had all these emotions, and then go right back into the stressful situation we're in now, because life without him here is stressful, and I'm having to work so much, and, I don't get to spend all this time with my kids that I used to, and, Dad's not here. So it's already a stressful situation because of that. And then we just had to leave Bird and tell him goodbye and come right back into this. And then here it is, it's Dad's birthday. And I was taking my daughters to a friend's house for a little Halloween party. And I was in the middle of painting Juju's face. She was going to be Rainbow Dash, and I was putting rainbows and sparkles all over her face. And while I'm painting her face, she starts just yawning, just excessive yawning. And I thought, okay, she's getting bored. She's trying to make me hurry up and telling me that she's bored and wants me to, she's just tired of having her face painted. And I was like, Juju, stop fake yawning. I know you're faking. I'll be done here in just a second. And all of a sudden, her eyes just got huge, and she just went back, and she just passed out on the ground with her eyes wide open, which was kind of weird looking. And I didn't know what was going on. And as soon as she hit the ground, she just started shaking uncontrollably, and just her whole body shaking. And my first thought was, she's having a seizure. None of my kids have ever had a seizure before. I've worked in places where we had some residents and clients and stuff. Those people have had seizures. I've seen seizures before, but no one in my family has ever experienced a seizure. None of my children have ever had a seizure. So anyway, so she's down on the ground and she's shaking uncontrollably, and I'm thinking this is a seizure. And the only thing I knew to do was just get down there with her and start praying. And when you don't know what to do, you pray. That's what you do. And as soon as I started praying, I mean the whole thing lasted seconds. It wasn't minutes. This was seconds. Um, she only was shaking for 2 to 3 seconds, and then she stopped, and then she started crying, and she's like, "What's going on, Mama? My head hurts." She hit her head on the floor. Um, it was a wood floor. It wasn't like concrete floor or something, so it wasn't that hard. But she started crying, saying, "My head hurts," and then she said, "I can't breathe. My chest hurts." So immediately I got her up. We drove to the emergency room, which is about 20 minutes away. I'm talking to her the whole time, saying, "What's going on? What are you feeling? Can you breathe?" She's like, "I'm still having trouble breathing." She said, "My heart hurts," which is her chest, but to her it was her heart that was hurting. So we get to the ER. They were amazing. This ER that I went to has not always had the best reputation, but it was the closest one, and I knew I had to get her there. But they've really improved a lot, this particular emergency room I was at, and they did fantastic. They got her in there quickly. Excuse me. And they were really friendly with her, with me, and very yeah, I just felt like they really cared, and they were really, doing a good job. So they did an EKG on her. They did X-ray, a chest X-ray. They did took blood sample and urine sample. Of course, they did the COVID test because that's just protocol right now. The doing the COVID test for her was a lot worse than getting the IV put in her arm. When they took blood, they went ahead and left the IV, or put an IV in there in case she had to get medicine later, which she didn't need, and we ended up taking it out. But the COVID test, they stick a Q-tip all the way up to your brain, basically, and that was more traumatizing to her than having her blood drawn. But anyway, all the tests came back completely normal. Everything's perfect. There's nothing wrong with her that they could see. They said they're not going to do a CAT scan yet. They don't want to expose her to that radiation unless she has another one. The doctor, in his words, he said, everyone's allowed one seizure in their life. That's the way he phrased it. Anyway, so basically what we think happened, and what the doctors think happened, he said sometimes children can have a seizure from either lack of sleep or excessive stress. Now, Juju gets plenty of sleep. We homeschool, and she just gets to sleep. She goes to bed, and we don't wake. The only day that we wake up early is on Sundays. So she gets plenty of sleep. She gets rest, but stress is something that we are under a lot of. And we have been for 3 months without Bird. And then we had 2 amazing weeks in Mexico with him. And then we come right back in to a stressful situation. And, I think being Daddy's birthday, maybe that was part of it, because we can't be with him. Couldn't be with him on his birthday. And it was just too much for her to handle. And her little body just had a seizure from excessive stress. And anyway, but she is okay. I've got a couple little videos that I took while I was in the hospital of her, so y'all can see her. I'm just going to attach it onto the end of this video. But it was incredibly scary, and but everything's good. She is just perfectly healthy. It was just, from what the doctors can figure, it was just from stress. So we don't believe that any permanent damage was done. We don't believe that there's, it's going to happen again. But anyway, there you go. So to sum up the video, 1,000 subscribers. Yay! Y'all are amazing. And the love and support I get from y'all guys is just awesome. And then Juju had a stress seizure, what we believe was a stress seizure. And she's perfectly fine. She's perfectly healthy. She's happy and back to her normal self. So anyway, y'all have a great day. Be blessed. Thank you for your support. And go ahead and watch the couple of video clips of Juju. Hey. How you feeling now?
A little better.
A little better?
Mhm.
Does your chest still hurt?
No, but if y'all are watching it, America Vanessa, please do not be freaked out, okay?
You don't want your sisters freaked out? You're so sweet. How's your breathing?
A little better.
A little bit? How about your head?
No, better.
Better? Good. I'm so glad you're feeling better. I love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Okay, so she's upset because she still has the IV in her arm. We're just waiting on them to come take it out. Good news, everybody. All her vitals, all the tests, the blood test, urine test, everything came back perfectly normal. She's perfectly healthy. They said occasionally something like this will happen where a child will have a seizure, usually due to either lack of sleep or too much stress. She gets plenty of sleep, but I think what our family's going through right now, I think it was probably too much stress. Children handle stress differently than adults do. And anyway, he said, but they're not going to expose her to the extra radiation of a CAT scan or anything like that unless it happens again. So that's good. He said the doctor said everybody's allowed one seizure in their life. So anyway, thank you all for your prayers. And she's good. She's going to be just fine. Right, Juju?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are you ready to go eat now?
Yes.
She's so hungry. She's cried off half of her rainbows. But she's good.